Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Sock Talks with Joy and Sean. We're glad you're here with us today on this, shall we say, Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
Nah,
the 13th. Yeah, well,
nothing's happened bad to me so far.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. It's only for us. It's only early in the morning, so we're good. So,
Yep.
anyways, so how have we been out there, and how are you doing with the acts and the cards and we thought we would give you a story time here today, just kind of give you some ideas of some things that's been happening to us and how we are enjoying using them. I mean, how are you sending today, Sean? Are you getting as many acts as you are cards out there these days?
I'm still in the 9 or 10 range of cards
Yeah,
um, through the mail. Again, it depends on the day. I mean, like Mother's Day, I sent a ton because there were a
yeah,
lot of pictures on Facebook. Father's Day, I'm sure. And I just, just like we're taught by Cody, listen to your prompt. Don't freeze and not send something. What? Do I send an act? Do I send a card? Just pick one. It's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
And others, it's just, I've created a couple that I just have fun with that I'll just, if I think of somebody, I'll, send it real quick. Others still, Facebook posts. But I like and I was probably on the fence when it got introduced, like an e-card. I mean, really? And we're about this showing up in the mailbox, and
yeah,
then you start doing them, and it really is that immediate gratitude, kindness, and appreciation. And
yeah, yeah,
um, you
yeah,
think of somebody, and you're like, you know what, I want this, and that's how I did it on Mother's Day. I'm like, this is really cool that they're going to get something the same day that they
yes,
posted
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
You're
really
100% right. Yeah.
how
And
I'm doing it. And I love, and you know what? It's even in my BNI, which we're almost 130 members, and I talk like Axe, and I had two one-to-one just after the meeting. Well, what is this Axe thing? And I just, pull one up that I've sent, and I said, this is how it opens. And everybody's like, that is so cool. Just how that pops out of the envelope, and then when you click to go inside it, so I'm like, it is not an e-card. So it is a great presentation, and the ones that I've sent, know, more on those than the real cards. You get the, hey, that was cool, thank you. So yeah, that's just kind of how I'm, going through the ones that, I send acts. And then I'll send an act, and sometimes like, it's going to be a really cool card that they're going to get in the mail too. So
yeah, yeah.
resend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think what's real fun about this too is like, what stopped you from before from doing a card to somebody is not having their address.
Yeah,
The acts have like totally blew that out of the
absolutely.
water, because now you can like totally, totally, do something on the spot, or right after.
Totally.
We do once a month we do a chamber Wake Up Westmoreland, and out of our hundreds of people in a chamber at something like this, you might get 25, 30 people. It's like a simple hour, somebody hosts it. Everybody does have a 30-second slot to go around the room and say something about. That was like a perfect opportunity to do an ad card
Yeah.
afterwards. Number one, the people that hosted it took a picture of them up there, boom, got a card out to them. People that were there, even conversations you had with people. If you get a picture, that's great because people love their pictures,
Right.
and you can do it like immediate like that. But even if you didn't get a picture, it was just like great to meet you. And like you
Right.
said, and I hope everybody knows this by now with the acts or with any of your cards, if you do a custom card, now it's in your favorites, now
Yeah.
it's made. Now all you do is tweak it and send it, kind of thing. So it's easy that way. But some of the things, like for instance, the person that hosted this, not only did I send her an act right away, I went back and sent her the physical card
Yeah.
too.
Absolutely.
So it was like a twosome that they're going to wind up instead of waiting for them to request it. I actually just sent one to them, kind of a thing. I had what you're saying about off of Facebook and Father's Day coming up, Mother's Day. I sent over 40 acts out on Mother's Day.
I get a little bent out of shape because there's not as many Father's Day posts as there's Mother's Day posts. We
I
know we know where the favorites lie, and that's okay. I agree with that. So it'll probably be
It's
20
really
Father's
not
Day
the
stuff.
favorites. It's like women
No, no, no,
are
no.
more
It's
in
favorites.
tune with
Hey, look, I
the
wouldn't be here without Mom. Hey, Dad's had a little something to do with that too.
art. I hear you. I hear you. So the same thing can happen with that. But there's so many daytime events that happen to you. Like I had a situation in our neighborhood. We had to get a hold of the township council president because of harassment with these salespeople, that aren't even supposed to be here without a permit, but they're also very harassing. And I personally was dealing with somebody knocking at my door 3 or 4 times in 2 or 3 days. And they're on those little two-wheel things, you know,
No,
the,
little, yeah.
yeah, whatever those things are, buzzing up and down, hitting the doors, exterminating services. I don't know,
Okay.
whatever. Anyway, bottom line is, I'd already told the guy one time I was no, not interested, but he kept coming back. Anyway, bottom line is, I contacted Mike, and I don't know him that well, but being part of the neighborhood, he has no problem with people having his cell phone, because he wants to know
Yep.
things.
Yep.
Like immediately got back to me. He like immediately within the hour was out here getting this guy out of the neighborhood. So yeah, I sent him a text saying thanks, but I also sent him a knack card,
Yeah.
of thanks. So I think that's a great opportunity to showcase,
Yeah.
or
Any
you know,
one-to-one, any meeting. You're right. All I need is the cell number.
anytime something you want to say thank you to somebody, do it in an
Yep.
act, and if you want to do the card too, but definitely
I
do it.
just think for businesses that, you meet with the client or prospect, and by the time they get in the car, they have a card on a text or an email. I mean, wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive. That's
yeah,
it, and
yeah,
then you send them the real one. You're right, that you
yeah.
maybe have a campaign for. But yeah,
And your
it's,
information on the back, your business information on the
yep,
back,
yep,
because
it's still
that's
on
good.
there.
I do that with my BNI. I mean, people that speak, I take the pictures. I've
I do. I've been doing that too. Yep.
yeah, taking their picture, put it on there, and say, "Hey, great presentation today," or I pick up something fun they said,
Sure.
whatever. I pull something out of it, and I will send them that, send them in an app because it's an immediate thing, you know. And you start to think also. I think about this with my BNI group. We have the person that does the educational moment, or the person that does the core state. Usually
Hmm.
the core statements and stuff are coming from the speakers, but get in the habit of picking out 1 or 2 people in your group each week and send them an act for no
Yep.
reason. Maybe a conversation set, maybe part of the 30-second commercial. There's something that you picked up with that. Maybe it's they were, I won't say late, but something that happened at the meeting.
Right.
Just 1 or 2 people at every meeting, and send out 2 or 3 acts. You could do your 5 acts
It
minimum of
would
the
take
day.
me a year to get through my BNI group.
Well, yes,
So I got
you
to do
might.
about 10.
Yeah, you might have to do a few more and keep track, but there's just opportunities
Yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely.
And I know that one of the things that I was getting, I probably slid out of this a little bit, but forever, anybody that came and did work at the house, whether it landscape or window cleaner, whatever the person was, I always was sending them a card of thanks afterwards.
Perfect.
And I have done that for a long time, but now I might do the axe instead, and maybe the card to go along with it.
Yeah,
And the reason I say the card along with it too is because people, like Cody says all the time, they're going to keep that card.
right.
So
And you know what? And not why you're doing this, but it's multiple exposures to what we do.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, that's
Oh,
not why you send an act. That's not why you send a card because you think, oh, I'm going to get them as a customer. But the more you send, the more people are. How did you do that? Is really cool. Oh,
yeah,
let me show you. It's $10. Let me just show you. And I would be that bull. Here, I'm gonna send you a link where you can sign up and do them. It's unlimited. And then just pull up send out cards on your phone, and that's how you send them.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly,
uh,
exactly.
don't make that difficult either.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep. Don't make that difficult. And as Sean and I were talking pre-show a little bit, is like, people still get hung up. Do I send an act? Do I send a card? Do I send an act? I'm going to tell you, if you go through that, send them both.
right,
Your acts are paid for,
right.
and
What
your
do I
card is
send?
probably paid for in whatever subscription you're on.
Yep,
So just do it. If you're
yep.
really in question, I have to tell you a funny story. I just thought about as we were talking here with my BNI chapter. We have a new member. He's been in for 2 months, and I've already done a 1-1. He's already on the 27 plan. So and he's a tinting service. He tints windows.
Okay.
Okay. And anyways, he comes in the other day and he says, "Joy, I have to show you this." And he has a card. And he has a card of me in front of a Toyota and a lady beside him, which is the salesperson. Okay. And he says, "Do you remember this?" And I'm thinking, well, I kind of remember the car. Yeah, a little bit, kind of thing. And here, this card, I'm gonna tell you how old this card was. This car was 3 cars ago.
Okay.
Okay. 2 cars ago. I'm sorry, it's on my third one. So 2 cars ago, this car was. But his wife is the salesperson. And after the sale, I sent the card to
Right.
her, thanking her, you know?
And still
And,
has it.
and she had kept it all this time. So, and when he was starting to talk about cards, well, he goes, let me show you something. And she pulled up, and he says, let me see that, and saw my information on the back.
Hey.
Yeah. And I'll tell you how old this was, or how long ago this was. This is probably 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, because on the back it was a horizontal card. And at the time, we still don't have horizontal backs unless you
Right.
create it on Canva. And I was learning to create it on Canva and did it backwards.
Nice.
I did it backwards, not by intention. So when I looked at that, I said,
So
"Oh,
open and
this,
then, well, you were
yeah,
just,
yeah, this was
no,
so that
they
they
were just,
were."
I just thought they were going to flip it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So when I looked at it, plus the picture I use is like, oh my gosh, that's like a million years old,
That's right.
kind of thing. But I thought that was interesting. And she said, when he said that to her, that, oh, that's Join a BNI, and that's the service I just got. And he says, this is exactly why we're using this service,
Perfect.
So I thought that was like a really great testimonial.
Yep.
But,
Absolutely.
but he didn't even say that testimonial because he had a referral to deal with. And I looked at him, I said, you say that testimonial next
That's
week.
next week, pal. Yep.
That is on your docket for next week. Just remember that,
Absolutely.
kind of thing. But so that was just kind of interesting that that
So
happened.
if you haven't gotten the axe yet, pay the extra $10
Yep.
and then just start sending them. Have fun with it. It's the immediate gratitude, kindness, and appreciation that you can send out to people. And,
Yeah.
they land a little different, but it's fun. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, just a little info on that, FYI on that. If you've got somebody who's on the 37, a legacy where they're getting 20 cards versus the new 15, and they want to do the axe, they don't just upgrade to the new 47. They add the
the
$10.
$10.
Yeah, that way
Yeah. So they just go to
they
the 10.
keep
Yeah.
their 20. Yeah,
20.
they keep
Got it.
their
Yeah.
20
Right.
and they've just gotten the unlimited acts along
That's
with that. So just a little FYI. I learned that this week because I had somebody struggling with that and I wanted to make sure.
right. Okay.
Same thing for anybody legacy on the 90s,
Right.
17,
Yeah. Just add the axe.
and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you
Perfect.
just need to kind of do that. So anyways, hope we gave you some good ideas.
Absolutely.
Don't make it harder than what
Now,
it needs to be. I have to share, Sean, and for everybody too. I have when I slow down and relax in the evening, it might be with a good movie, or whatever. That's a lot of times when I do my cards. I will finish up doing my cards. However, I also have a policy in my mind that I am not texting anybody past 9 o'clock. So, or messaging, people past 9. My time, 9 to 9. I don't want to be interrupted before 9 o'clock, and I don't want to interrupt you before or after. So
start texting Joy at
I'm really
7:30 in the
struggling with
morning.
my axe on this. So I make a notation, and when I save something on Facebook, I'll make a notation, send it out to that. But I know I do my axe early in the day and my regular cards in the evening. So, anyways, that's just my own little
Send
personal.
them when the prompting pushes you everybody else.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, but anyways, okay,
Perfect.
everybody, have a
All
great,
righty.
happy Friday 13th.
Yep. Have a great
Enjoy
weekend.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Sean, to
Thank
you
you.
coming up. And everybody out there, enjoy your Father's Day. Enjoy the moment. You are appreciated no matter how much you feel sometimes you are not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
All right.
bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Sean, guess what? I
Did
didn't
you
take,
record?
I didn't take,
Huh?
uh-uh.
Yeah, you did. It came up.